Google Maps is a tool we can use every day, from fun exploration to looking for specific directions. What you may not know, though, is that Google Maps has many spots all over the world that we are not allowed to see. Some are more sinister than others.
It's a well-known fact that Google Earth has plenty of spots that are censored to us. More specific areas that we aren't allowed to see may not be well known. For example, Narsarsuaq Arctic Circle in Greenland is a spot you wouldn't expect to be censored. The reason for the censorship is that in 1968, a B-52 aircraft holding 4 nitrogen bombs crashed in the area and leaked, contaminating the area. This is an example of areas that are dangerous to go to, mostly being nuclear disasters.
Chernobyl, home of the blackbird and many other creatures we spoke of in episode 6, is a spot blurred on Google Maps. This of course is due to the nuclear meltdown that had occurred during the 1980s. But why are nuclear meltdown sites censored on Google? Is it due to the possible dangers, or could it be something else? What exactly is there to hide in those pictures?
Another nuclear site was Bikini Atoll. From the 40s and the 50s, nuclear tests were performed. This spot as well is censored on Google Maps, but is not as easy to explain. These tests were performed over 70 years ago, so why would this nuclear site be censored? Just to mention this now, because we won't get the chance ever again, Bikini Atoll is where Bikini Bottom gets its name. There's a theory that the fish can talk due to radiation. And now let's get back on topic.
Our next major group of censored areas are religious spots. Garden of Gethsemane in Jerusalem. It's the most sacred Christian pilgrimage spot on earth, due to it being the final spot Jesus stayed before his crucifixion. It is also theorized that the Virgin Mary is also buried there. More likely than not, this spot is censored for religious preservation, to keep this spot sacred to those who visit it, in other words.
Medina in Saudi Arabia is our next location. In the Muslim faith, it is the most sacred spot. This is where the Prophet Muhammad journeyed to on his journey from Mecca. There is actually a reason given for the spot being censored. The reason is that non-Muslim people are not allowed to see the center of town. They still are allowed in the city. Religious sites are probably the most understandable places that the general public aren't allowed to see on maps.
Military sites are our next stop. Our first on the list is Babylon in Iraq. There is no exact reason for the censorship, but there are theories. From radar to missile interception sites. This spot is a very mysterious one. Not exactly a military base, but close enough. KFC signs and billboards are censored because faces are understandably not allowed to be shown on Google Maps.
Or maybe not anymore. And Gabe included a line in the script here that says that North Korea is completely censored on Google Maps, but as you can see, that is not the case. And interestingly enough, the only thing that is technically censored on Google Maps is Google Street View, outside of the country's capital.
Vokel Air Base in the Netherlands is a US nuclear weapons base that is completely off limits to the general public. This is of course censored on Google Maps. Lastly, the Elmira Correctional Facility in New York is a spot that we cannot see. It is a maximum security prison run by the NYPD. The official reason for this spot being hidden is the quote, "If we can't see it, they can't get out."
Now, to the really interesting stuff. Paranormal. Exploring Google Maps, specifically Antarctica, there are many spots with black splotches. Could it be a lack of visual information, or something more mysterious? My personal theory is glitches. If anything, these are just shots of snow or mountains. Cool either way.
Baker Lake is our first major paranormal spot that is hidden on Google Maps. The official explanation is the high number of graves that are found there. Theory suggests that the real reason is that Baker Lake holds extraterrestrial secrets. This is a stretch if anything. The graves there are more mysterious than aliens. It suggests that there was a mass death. Each grave is identical, and each body is covered with rock. Baker Lake, though, is its own mystery for another time.
Arp Site in Alaska is our next spot. This is a hotspot for theorists charged as well by its mysterious censorship. Theorists claim that this site is the cause of floods, all the way to hurricanes. Basically a weather-controlling machine that can cause anything to happen just by the flick of a switch. This again is a story for another time.
Our final site is a big one, Roswell, New Mexico, the supposed site of an alien crash during the 1940s. This is of course one of the biggest hotspots for alien encounters and tourists hoping to catch their own sighting. The true story behind this case was that a weather balloon crashed near a town. Many believe that it was a ship. The town accused the military of covering up the crash, not a weather balloon most claimed, but an alien spaceship.
During the 1970s, more claims of alien crashes appeared. The rumors go that aliens were brought to the nearby military base. In recent times, the claims go that Google Maps is covering up the crash site and military base by the request of the military. If the whole story is true in the first place, of course, it is strange that the supposed crash site is censored, but it makes sense that the base itself is.
Most of these cases can be chalked down to privacy issues. Countries and bases and even specific private locations can choose not to be shown, just like how faces of passerbys aren't shown. It seems to mostly be baseless conspiracy to think that there's more going on. A big problem with theories is that sometimes they forget to look at the clear answer or dismiss it as false. Either way, it is some fun to speculate on what some places on Earth could actually be hiding. Maybe some are truly hiding more than you'd guess.
Stay curious.
Join us again next time when we once again go obscure.